welcome to the 3Beer Pod. Hello, everyone. I am Chris. That is Tim. What's going on tonight, buddy?
Wow, buddy. That was quite the intro tonight, buddy. You had some time on your hands today.
Yeah, getting work done. Getting
Look
work
at that.
done. Let me
beauty.
start off with a little love right here.
Buddy.
Guess it depends what time you're watching this or if you're listening to it, but the Leafs winners on Tuesday night. That was a close one. So I can get used to hockey at about 4 o'clock on a Tuesday.
That's
in
interesting,
August.
Eh? These are weird times for games.
Yeah.
It's cool turning it on, though.
For sure.
Things at different times.
Hey guys, welcome to the 3Beer Pod. It is episode number 5 of the 3Beer Pod. Thanks for tuning in live if you're on Facebook or if you're on the YouTube. And of course, you can obviously download this. We upload every Wednesday morning to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. So thanks for tuning in there. Want to start off thanks to our sponsors. As always, they make this all possible. Thanks to Shauna over at the Health House. She is one of our sponsors. Also to me, Realtor over at Realty House, as we're busy. Houses are still selling real quick. So if you want to buy or sell anywhere in Ontario, give me a call and we can hook you up there. So, you know what, Timmer? We got to slide out of the way here. Look over our shoulders. Where is it? There it is. New edition. There you go. That's from
beauties.
Yeah.
Ooh,
look at that. Look at that.
PlanetPrint.ca.
Rick over at Planet Print, good dude, full service printing, and they can print stuff like that, or stickers, or anything you need. Some promotional material, marketing material. He does a great job over at Planet Print. PlanetPrint.ca. You know what I was thinking, Timmer? We should talk to Rick about getting some koozies made up.
Ooh, some koozies. Who doesn't like a good koozie?
Some 3Beer Pod koozies. Wouldn't that be great?
I think it's a great idea. I bet you we could give some of those out. Good stuff.
Hey, if you have an idea of what we could put on the koozies,
yes,
jump on the comments. Okay,
koozie naming contest.
Yeah,
I like it. On the fly, koozie naming contest. Here we go.
If you joined us last week or you caught last week, I want to say thanks again to Leo Routens who joined us there, right there on the right hand of your screen. That was a great interview in episode 4. Track back and hear that again.
Canadian basketball legend Leo Routens. It was great to hear him broadcasting the Monday game. He was on with Matt Devlin, and Matt Devlin also introduced him as Canadian basketball legend. Leo Routens.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. All right, Timmer, we're going to do Beer Buzz after we talk to our guests here, but we always have to start off with, what you drinking, bud? What you drinking, bud? What are you drinking tonight there, Timmer?
Oh, this was a tough one today, Cloudy. I actually got to reach down into my slurry down here. I had a heck of a time. I think we're going to talk to Refined Fool here today. We're going to talk to them about why it was so hard for me to find their beer today, which is probably a good thing because they're selling out. So I had to borrow some from you today, buddy. So I got the Rip Zip Skip from Refined Fool. It's a New England IPA. And I have these are soaking in a water bath right now to make sure that they were cold for the podcast. This is Short Pier Long Walk. This is a double IPA. That's aggressive. And what do we got here? Zane lost his avocado bag. These are all soaking wet because I just took them out of the slurry. I'm going to get those dried off. I'm going to start with Zane lost his avocado bag, work my way up to the Short Pier Long Walk today, the double IPA. I think that's the route to take. So that's where I'm heading today. Where are you going?
All right. So I've got some. Oh, maybe I should soak this in here. I'm already into. Is this Pooch Heavy? We're gonna have to ask the guys. The Australian IPA. This is delicious. So that's what I've started on here. We're going with the Van Full of Weirdos. Some great names right here.
That's a great one.
Is it? Okay. I'll launch into that one next. And I've got the Murder of Crows, the black IPA, and
solid one. So these all came out of this right here, which was the IPA Fun Box, which I think we showed a couple episodes again. And my IPA Fun Box did not last a day, so that's why I was out. And I thought, hey, I'll just go and run and grab some. And I couldn't find any today, so I had to steal some of your Fun Box. So I owe you a Fun Box.
You do. Well, let's before we start talking about that, let's pull in the guys from Refined Fool in Sarnia. Here's Refined Fool Brewing Company, and we'll pull in Matt and Nathan from Refined Fool. Good evening, guys. What's going on, fellas?
Not much. How are you guys?
Very good. Well. Very good. So Tim was saying he was having a hard time tracking down some of your beers. That's, I guess, a good problem to have on your end things.
It has been a good problem. You guys had to come to Sarnia for that IPA fun back? Because I don't think it's much further than that. We've been shipping it across the province a little bit.
Yeah, I got three of them delivered like a week and a half ago, and they didn't last very long.
Perfect. You had a lot of fun.
I was hoping to get up to Sarnia this past weekend, but that didn't happen. So we had to piece it together here today. All good stuff, though.
Those are going to be at the LCBO in the fall. It's a seasonal listing in the fall. So we're just kind of testing the market a little bit, see how they land. And yeah, they've been selling really well across Ontario. People have been buying them from our store quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's great, guys.
It's a great blend. It's delightful. I enjoyed my fun box, and this is my other half.
What's your favorite one in there?
The Rip Zip Skip was delightful. I really enjoyed that one. It was really good. And then the Van Full of Weirdos was also quite delicious. Those were my two favorite for sure out of the box.
I'm just getting into it. Did I say this right? Pooch Envy? Am I right with that?
Pouch Envy.
Pouch Envy. Pooch
Envy.
Kangaroo.
Yeah, I get it now. I get it. I'm new here. Hey guys, so Refined Fool, man, you guys are kicking ass up there in Sarnia. Well, first of all, I guess we should say in Sarnia, Ontario is where you're located. You got a couple of spots up there in Sarnia. What is it, Davis Street and on London Road. So are you both locations now open again?
They are both open. Yep. So we've got all the COVID policies in place, but both tap rooms are open. And patios at both of them as well. So we're doing what we can do given the circumstances.
You guys have been open since 2014. You've been around for 6 years. We've seen and we've talked to some breweries that are here in the last last 2-3 years. They've really jumped on board. But you guys have been around for 6 years, and you guys were just shot out of a cannon right from the start. And was that too fast for you? Could you handle that? What was that growth like?
Well, that's a good question. When we started with 6 different beers that we didn't think anyone in Sarnia would want to buy, and we did them only in 750 milliliter bombers at the time, thinking, you know what, we only have a 150 liter system, so we're not sure we're gonna be able to sell them all at too cheap of a price. So when we started, we thought that we were starting modestly, but then from day one we've been selling out, and we've been trying to keep up ever since. So I don't know if that answered your question, but we came out a bit strong, and it seemed to work in our favor though.
Well, sometimes that isn't good though, if you're too quick and you can't keep up with the demand and you fall behind. But it seems like you guys have done a great job keeping that momentum right from the start. Yeah,
and a big part of that is just constantly coming up with new styles and new beers to keep the people that have liked us following us and always seeing what we're up to next. So we've had a lot of fun doing it, and now we're just starting to play the provincial game a little bit more and see how far and wide we can get our brand to go that way.
Timmer, you got something there, buddy?
Yeah, I think the thing that we talk about a lot when we talked about this early on in our podcast was your names for your beers. They're quite unique. And we actually used to play a game called "Is It Real or Is It Fake?" Beer names. Where you guys come up with your names from, and is it just sitting around the table? Let's go with this one, or do you guys have a vetting process for these, or is it first guy to come up with one? Let's go with it. How does the naming of your beers work?
It's definitely evolved. At the very beginning, everyone was contributing names, and we would have a whole voting process, but then we were coming up with a beer almost every week, and this was driving me crazy having to facilitate all these elections every time it would happen. So now we've solicited everybody, our customers, our friends, when it's a funny situation that's going on, but most of it comes from the 4 of us directors who just have a ton of fun together and are constantly making jokes, and there's a good beer name that comes out of almost every time that we're going to get together.
You have like a running Excel spreadsheet with just really ridiculous names, and when it comes time to name one, we just mosey onto that sheet and kind of pick the best one.
Can I add a couple? Pooch Envy is one. I'd like you to throw in there.
It's funny enough, people always get our names wrong, and so we thought about releasing beer names, just mispronounced beer names.
I like it.
Because people get our names wrong all the time.
I've come up with some options for you. Okay, so you guys, you might want to add these to the Excel spreadsheet, or you might want to disconnect and never talk to us again. Okay, so the first one is, oh, sorry, I was just making a TikTok.
That's
Okay.
good. That's got potential. I like
Okay.
the full content structure. We definitely have some of those.
That beer could get banned pretty quickly.
How about, hey, I'm in here.
Well, that one we had. So, what I don't know if you guys know the evolution of our Ontario lager. It started with cool handshake. Now get out of my bathroom, and then it went down to cool handshake, and then we switched it over Ontario lager. So I think that you're in the right angle there for one of our lagers.
Okay.
So nice
Okay.
work.
I've got some in the fridge, so I should have brought that out. How about this one? Swipe right, and I'll make your night.
Oh, that's good.
Rhyming game too.
Yeah,
I like it.
Good.
Yeah.
We try to stay away from rhymes, but we'll consider it.
Or how about you're invited to the pants party?
We did. Didn't we have one? We had one.
We
called
have one
Pants.
just called Pants.
It was just
Ah.
Pants.
All right. Well, all right.
Pretty
I'll-
good. Pretty good.
Did my
Some
best.
people get their 100 names in, and we'll only pick one of them, if any. So you might be onto something.
No, you guys are like the marketing game. So first of all, let's back up. So there's 4 of you that are behind Refined Fool. Am I right with that?
Yeah. So we started with actually a group of about 10 of us, where 5 of us were directors. One of the directors, who was the original brewer, ended up moving back to Saskatoon, which was his hometown, and he's doing some stuff out that way. The 4 of us directors have stayed on, and we've opened it up to a lot of friends and family to kind of come in and support us. So we've got a pretty comprehensive shareholder structure where people can jump in and kind of help support us into the next phase and everything there. So it's very much a community funded project where the 4 of us have been kind of leading the show since it started, though.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I was reading something today that maybe a couple years ago there was somebody else that wanted to get involved and wanted to be a part of the group, and maybe make it bigger or maybe expand it a different way. But you wanted to keep it really kind of hometown and the real 4 of you together.
There was some outside interest of some people that we didn't know, and we didn't accept it because we did want to keep it within our kind of circles of people that we just trusted and understood what we were doing. We're a brewery from Sarnia, for Sarnia, and then to kind of launch from there. And we didn't really know their intention, so we just kind of turned it down at the time.
That's the hardest question we're ever going to ask.
I don't even know where that's public. So it's interesting knowledge that you have.
We've got a network of beer insiders.
Chris McLeod knew your insider.
That's all I got. That's what I got. Timmer, what do you got, buddy?
So two locations in Sarnia, and both are really awesome. Chris and I have been to both in the past, but 2 different kind of feels in the 2 different spots, the Davis Street one and the London Road one. So what is kind of the theme going on at your breweries, and is it more just whatever works at the different locations, or how did you guys come up with 1, the location, and 2, kind of the theme of what's going on at those locations?
You say you got it?
You got it.
Oh, the original location was downtown. Started as like a very tiny facility. We converted the old maple syrup barrels into our electric system, and so we basically just shift that together and tried to make it work. By the time that we expanded to London Road, we partnered with Burger Rebellion to offer food in the tap room, and that's when we started sort of like growing to a little bit more of a mainstream market that way, and much bigger. Like we went from 2,500 square feet to 30,000 square feet. And so we really tried to keep the downtown place much more eclectic, part of the downtown culture there. Downtown's kind of had this revolution over the last 5 or 6 years that we've been, at the front end of that, just running a lot of concerts, lots of different events going on there. We've shut it down for private events, just whatever the community wants to use it for, we try to work with them to make it used. Where London Road, it's a lot bigger. There's a lot more going on. That's our main production facility. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing there is just trying to get us ready to go and start spreading across the province.
Who's in charge of marketing? Is it all in-house, or do you go outside for that? Because you're killing it with the marketing.
Yeah, it's mostly in-house. One of the companies I owned before Refined Fool was a marketing company, and so we kind of merged the 2 worlds together and took all those skill sets. And one of the general managers, one of the directors, he's creative genius when it comes to our brand, and he's done a really good job at marketing that. That's Brandon. And so we kind of just figured out how to work together and keep pushing all those marketing angles that way. So it's worked out really well, kind of our technical knowledge with his creative knowledge and putting it all together for Refined Fool.
Well, Tim, a couple weeks ago, we played the Oma Destroys Craft Beers, or the Dutch grandmother destroys craft beers. We thought that was hilarious.
Actual grandma as well. She's quite the lady.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love the Facebook post. I think it was from Friday. It was a simple post, but it made me laugh. It said, low energy news briefs. Number one, today's the day, mask up. So you've got the masks, obviously, in Sarnia. No, you don't have to wear them when sitting at your table. Number two, apparently it's a long weekend. We're opening regular hours at the different locations. And then number three, things didn't work out between Craig and Denise. And that's all you left.
Yeah. Craig and Denise, it was bad for us all, I think.
Yeah.
I love that, man. And that's the kind of stuff, and when you can go viral with that and get that information out there, that just draws more attention to it. And I think you guys are killing it in that game. You guys are doing a really good job.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So who's in charge of the beer? Who's on the beer side of things?
This guy right here, Matt.
That's my world, yeah.
Matt, the man with the $1 million mustache.
Right. Thank you. It's been a while.
I love that. So Matt, where do you come up with your brews here? Where's the mastermind coming from? Where's all these ideas coming from?
We'll just grab samples of beers from other breweries and kind of other flavor profiles that you want to kind of hit. Food pairings are big for me, where my wife's a pretty good cook, so she'll cook something. I go, oh my God, that tastes delicious. Let's put that in a beer form. Yeah, just all over the place.
I'm just scrolling through your beer list here of the past ones. Like you basically tried everything. Has there been anything that you're like, that didn't go well? Or what do you do when you have one that doesn't go well? We've
only had a few dumpers, but one of my favorite ones that I liked, we brewed a Piwo Grodziskie, which is a Polish smoked beer. And we nailed it. I thought it came off really well. But one comment, someone left a comment saying, hey, you know when you buy a pack of hot dogs and there's that little bit of water left over in the bottom of the hot dog? That's what it tastes like. And then it just ruined the whole beer for everybody, basically.
And then we made it again because it's our designer's favorite beer. So we just put kegs and kegs in his garage, and he could just keep that for himself.
But that's the beauty of we have a little 3-barrel system at Davis Street. So we're kind of able to kind of experiment a little bit more than most other breweries and do some crazy one-off beers and kind of crazy flavors. And, you know, you're only making 8 kegs at a time. So it sells through pretty quickly.
Like many Ontario breweries, you guys jumped on board by making hand sanitizer. How and we never really talked to him. We've talked about it, but we've never really talked to a brewery themselves. What was that like to put that together and get that out to the community?
Yeah, so that was a bit of a different, like when COVID first hit, there was a huge kind of need for it. And then there's a couple news articles of breweries making hand sanitizer. But what they didn't mention was that they're not breweries, they were distilleries. Because it's a whole different license to make ethanol at that level, I guess. So everyone's like, oh, why don't you just make it? I was like, well, we can only make beer up to 12%. It's got to be 77 to be worthwhile sanitizer. But that's with ethanol. And then there's another formula with isopropyl. And so we have a whole bunch of plants in Chemical Valley here that literally are swimming in isopropyl. So we got a couple donations through them. So we made a whole bunch with isopropyl. And then we also teamed up with Lambton College. So we brew a wort. We ferment it out to like 18%. And then they come and pick it up and they bring it to their lab and distill it there. So Lambton College has been a pretty big push to help get that going.
Now, Sarnia Lambton has been one of the communities that has it's been a step behind when the stages come. What's it been like trying to operate a brewery and just get the food and you got the tap rooms too? What's it been like trying to operate during like this weird time we're all dealing with right now?
It's been a bit of a blessing actually to be kind of behind. Like we pivoted very well when it first hit. Like I remember we're at Tony's place having a meeting. And like literally the next day we had an online store up and we're taking deliveries and we're all literally driving our cars around Sarnia, making deliveries around Sarnia. And then, when they started to open up the tap rooms, we kind of like, we didn't even open up when they opened up on Friday. we kind of set back and said, we'll just hold off for a little bit and see how other places do it. And it was kind of nice to kind of see, how London restaurants and bars kind of did their patios and restaurants before we had to do it.
It definitely was stressful. Like, we were constantly trying to figure out what the best move was to make for our own establishment, and the rules are changing every day, it felt like. So every day we'd be sitting around the table waiting for the announcement, and then we'd be trying to make policy decisions, and then we'd see some of our neighborhood businesses doing something completely opposite, so we'd be calling them, why are you doing that, what's going on? So it was very stressful, but I think we came out on top in the end. Like, we worked together as a team very well.
Yeah.
And our finance guy didn't completely kill himself. Like, he considered it multiple times. He's losing his mind every day because the rules keep changing, but we made it all through.
That's awesome, and we've seen some breweries that have really stepped up during this time. They seem to be doing all right. I think people are at home and they want to drink good beer, and the biggest part was getting it to them. And Tim, you had that fun box still there. That's one that we saw pop up on Facebook, and I think Tim and I had a quick message. He's like, "You want one?" I said, "Yeah, go get me one of those IPA fun boxes." Like, how has that been for delivery and online ordering? And is that now? I know you mentioned, is it Ontario wide? What's that like?
Yeah, so we do local delivery. We're just using a local delivery service now. We were doing it ourselves whenever an order would come in, and now we've just kind of partnered with a local company to do that. And then we're using just like courier services across the province. So Canpar, Canada Post, whoever can kind of get it to them the quickest. So people just order online, and that gets shipped out the next day. And we've been trying to kind of develop that as well, because that's a unique distribution model for us. Normally you sell it to the LCBO and you let them kind of do the sales. This way they're coming right to us, and we get to sort of craft their experience a little bit more than what the LCBO does for you, or whatever a licensee would do if they're selling your beer on tap. So we're kind of excited about that. That's gotten the IPA Fun Box into hands all across the province, where we didn't think people would be able to even see it till the fall. So we were excited that COVID kind of pushed us to start developing that kind of distribution model for us.
Yeah, and we had like one of our biggest single day retail sales ever when there was like whispers of the LCBO closing and the beer store closing. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, I better get stocked up." And so the weekend that was kind of in the air, it was just jam-packed, people buying cases upon cases.
Yeah, which was a new thing for us too. Like, typically we're not like, as a craft brewery, you're not selling 2-4s of your beers. People are coming in to buy individuals, whether it's the bombers or a 4-pack of cans or something, and then it's like someone flicked a switch and all of a sudden people are walking out with 2 or 3 cases of beer, which we look like the beer store for the first time. So that was kind of exciting for us, because our retail model has never had that before. So we started paying attention to that a little bit more and trying to facilitate those kinds of sales and try to really capture our audience a little bit to see who is drinking us on the day-to-day basis.
My beer cupboard is full of a bunch of different breweries now, and it's never been as diverse as it has been right now. So I think that's thanks to COVID, which I don't think we'll say that too often, but it has been good in that respect. Timber, did you have anything else, buddy?
Yeah, no, I was just I'm looking forward to getting back to the different locations. I just remembered the one thing that really made me laugh is on the way to the bathrooms at both locations, you guys have in posters bad reviews that you've done. Do you remember seeing those?
1-star reviews, yes.
Those are like the best. That's the best. And I was like, and then I like go to the bathroom and like read them all. And like, what are you laughing about so hard about coming back from the bathroom? Like, this is the best thing ever.
On us. So like those are like legit reviews, and then we put them on the wall. We got flooded with reviews, people trying to get on the wall.
That was really hurting our ranking there for a little bit.
Right. I can see that. There was some funny stuff on there, man. That was a good time. I enjoyed going to the brewery for sure. Looking forward to getting back up there.
In a few weeks, we're making a big announcement. We'll let you guys in on it first, but there's some more kind of things around the 1-star reviews in it. But we're opening up a sports bar in Sarnia. So big, huge screens and lots of different games, cornhole, like a whole indoor sort of court for a lot of activities and stuff. And all along the wall in there are all these sports athletes, famous Sarnia sports athletes, with some really interesting statistics and some pretty good laughs when you start reading through there. So next time you're in Sarnia, make sure it's at the back of London Road. We had our storage building that we're converting over that way. So make sure you check it out.
Well, that's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Thanks for letting us in on that. Refined Fool, refinedfool.com. If you want to download something, follow them on their social media too, because you'll get a good laugh. And then obviously you can track down some of those beers. That fun box is every ounce of fun that you can imagine. So, guys, anything else before we let you go? Just appreciate your time here tonight.
No, thanks for having us. This is great being on.
Hey, well, actually, before we go, I noticed you were having a drink there, Matt. What are you drinking tonight, bud?
You know what? I went on the Collective Arts gin and tonic train.
Oh wow!
I just got back from a week at a cottage where I drank my weight in beer, so I'm trying to switch it up a little bit.
Well, I guess one last question was obviously Refined Fool, but where else? What other breweries catch your attention, and do you enjoy trying?
Oh, for Ontario, I've always loved Bellwoods. Bose I've always looked up to, just sort of as a business and a corporation that I've always just really appreciated what they're going on. I love Unibrew out of Quebec.
Half Hours on Earth has really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, Half Hours on Earth. I don't know if you guys have done much with them yet, but they're an amazing little sour brewery, just only 45 minutes or so away from us, but they've been doing some incredible beer. So we definitely have our ears to sort of like what's coming out of the province, and we buy all their beers and make sure our own fridges are stocked with their stuff to keep inspiring us. We used to go to Michigan all the time, just drive over the border, because Michigan craft beer, as you know, is just doing really well. And because it's right on the border, we go in there and we'd always stock up. So we've been kind of suffering since COVID as well, because we haven't been able to do that.
For sure. Guys, check them out. Refinedfool.com. Matt and Nathan, guys, we appreciate it. Can't wait to get up there and try it. What do we have a name for the new bar, or do you want to release that yet?
It's called Sports.
I love it.
That's beautiful.
Thanks, guys. We'll have to get up there and see you soon. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, guys.
All right, see you.
Cheers,
Thanks, guys.
Matt and Nathan from Refined Fool. That is pretty cool. There's Refined Fool. Refinedfool.com. Check it out right there. Download it and grab one of those fun boxes. Hey, Timmer, that's worth it right there.
Yeah, I feel bad because I'm drinking half your fun box right now, bud, because I didn't have any. But it's good. We'll get some more. I'm glad that's exciting that they're coming out with the fun box for LCBO. That's great stuff.
So that'll be in the fall. And you know what? That was something that popped up, one of their sponsored ads on Facebook. And I said, I think I sent it to you, and we delivered it, or we ordered it within 20 minutes and got it real quick. So
I ordered it before you said yes. I was like, it's good stuff.
That's awesome. If you haven't been yet, so those locations again, right downtown in Sarnia, 137 Davis Street, or Midtown Sarnia on London Road, and then Sports, the bar.
That's amazing. You know what? I've had nothing but good experiences when I've been to Refined Fool. There was one day I was waiting at the Davis Street for some bottles, and the guy was just busy out front, and then he saw me out front. He's like, "Oh no, man, just come to the bar," and he just gave me a free beer because he felt bad, and I was like, "That's the kind of brewery." And then I just sat down and talked to the guy. Shouldn't have even been there, but I decided to stay for a beer, and it was good, man. So that's the kind of guys you're dealing with. Obviously, you got a great feel from those guys that we just chatted with. Good dudes, good beer. I'm on tasting the third one here. The short period, long walk. Oh,
I'm still on my pooch. I get so distracted when I start talking. The pooch, jeez. Well, we say to
I don't drink this whole thing. I just sample. Sample here, bud.
We always say good beer, good people, good stories, and I think Refined Fool, Matt and Nathan certainly fit that. Here, I want to go over another one of their Facebook posts. I think last week sometime. They kill it on the marketing, right? Stop by for a fresh, safe pint. Note, we have a new sophisticated sobriety check system in place. You must repeat the following list of words in any order before we will pour you a beer. You only get 100 attempts. Person, woman, man, camera, TV, beer.
Solid. Donald Trump test there. It's solid. I think I would pass.
What do you think the reaction was? Do you think they'll take any of our ideas for beer names? I
think you're good. Yeah, for sure. I think you'll see them coming up here. It's going to make the list. But there's what was the one that I saw? The shirtless. Hold on a second. Oh, Internet John and the vague instructions. I love that. You just slap it on a label. It's good. Vicky's Duotang.
I liked. Oh, sorry. I was just making a TikTok. If we ever see that.
They better at least give us a 6-pack.
Oh, hey, so we were mentioning our new friend over at not new friend, Rick's a good friend from Planet Print, and maybe we should get some koozies and hand them out. Well, what should we put on the koozies? And our buddy Tom says it's got to say, "What you drinking, bud?"
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, I do too. I think that's the front runner of anything. What's drinking, bud?
That's okay. Okay, we'll get our marketing team on
Let's
that.
get on that. Planetprint.com. Nope.
Yeah.
.ca.
.ca.
Planetprint.ca. It's right.
What you drinking, bud?
Right there.
There you go. All right, Tim. Let's get to some beer buzz here. I got one for later on this week. It is International Beer Day, and that is coming up on the 7th. Which
didn't we already have one of those?
Well, this is the thing. Okay, April 7th. That was the date we started this podcast. That was National Beer Day.
Ah, right.
It was the anniversary end of the Prohibition in the United States, and we celebrated that with National Beer Day and starting our 3 Beer Pod. Now, coming up on the 7th, which that's Friday, right? Yeah, Friday, International Beer Day. Started in Santa Cruz, California. Beer Day began to celebrate the craft of brewing and to show appreciation for those involved in the making of beer. Quickly expanded to include celebrations of bartenders and other beer technicians. Not only expanded in scope, but now it's in 50 countries around the world. International Beer Day is Friday, so we'll have to tip one back. Now, they have some ideas, Tim, on how to celebrate International Beer Day. Okay, so if you weren't ready, the founders of the Beer Day had 3 declared reasons for the day. And they were as followed. Number 1, gather with friends and enjoy the taste of beer. That's what we do here. Cheers. Sure. Number 2, celebrate those responsible for brewing and serving beer. Cheers to the bartenders, the brewmasters. Sure. Unite the world under the banner of beer by celebrating the beers of all nations together on a single day.
Wow, that got intense there on the last one.
There you go. Yep. Grab your favorite Pooch Envy. I'm such an idiot.
It's got a kangaroo on the label, doesn't it?
I wasn't looking, and I was.
It's also an Australian IPA, FYI.
Yeah, as soon as he said it, it all made sense.
Oh,
it all made sense. So okay, so those were 2. So International Beer Days, National Beer Days, April 7th. International Beer Days, August 7th. But other beer days throughout the year. Okay, every other beer days throughout the year.
Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars with a big red star. September 20th, Sour Beer Day. September 28th is Drink Beer Day. October 9th is beer and Pizza Day. November 5th is International Stout Day. And December 10th, National Lager Day. All beer days on the calendar. So
all right, so let's mark our calendar. Let's start a calendar, first of all. Let's start one. And we'll mark one. And then maybe we do a couple just short live episodes.
Yeah, we'll have to do a special.
Pizza and Beer Day. Is that a Friday? Let's do that one.
Beer and Pizza Day, October 9th. Let's see what day that is.
Check that calendar. October 9th. It's probably like a Tuesday.
No, it's Friday.
Is it really?
It's a Friday. Yeah.
Mark that down.
I want to say
Friday what? October 9th. Right, nothing. October 9th. That's a beauty day.
September 28th. Drink Beer Day is actually on a Monday, so that's a little odd, but
it's a tough one to swing on a Monday.
Yeah.
Let's stay away from that one. Beer and Pizza Day, October 9th. Let's do that. We'll hook up, maybe we'll get a pizza sponsor for that day.
Yeah, we know some.
Places. Yeah.
Hey, Timmer, you had some beer buzz today, too. What do you got?
I just had the August, what was it? August 1st was Mustard Day.
Yes, I saw that.
Did you see that? So this brewery out of Colorado has one location. It's called Oscar Blues Brewery. Brewed a French's mustard beer. French's mustard beer, what did it say here? Is a semi-tart tropical wheat beer infused with citrus fruits to complement. Oh, it doesn't actually have mustard in it. Oh, okay.
I was thinking. You know when you turn the mustard
mustard.
You know when you turn mustard upside down, the first squirt, if you don't shake it up, is that gruel, like the mustard gruel.
Yeah, and then you get pissed that ended up on your hot dog.
That's what I'm thinking. Like that's just the mental.
So it's kind of like when the guys were talking about the hot dog juice.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no way I can get that out of my head now.
What if you mix the hot dog juice with the mustard juice, ferment it a bit, and get it? So this actually is not as bad as I thought. It doesn't actually have mustard in it. Oh no, brewed with French's mustard. It actually has mustard in it. I changed my mind again.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So that's aggressive. So that's what I was kind of getting to when he was saying that he's, they try different things. I think mustard is a bad idea. And I'm a mustard fan. I don't think brewing beer with a mustard is a good idea.
Next week on the 3Beer Pod, let's
I'll write
talk
this down.
about the worst possible combinations.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Bad idea brews.
Well, I know a brewery that's starting someday with that name, so we don't want to infringe on them. But
Okay.
that's okay.
We'll come
Bad
up-
idea.
We'll put a post up on our Facebook. We'll get some
I like
get
it.
some submissions together, and then we can talk next week.
Things you shouldn't brew with.
Things
I like
you
that.
shouldn't brew with. Things you shouldn't brew with. Wanted to point out this link here, Timmer. I found this. I know you've been kicking around on the internet. Brewereats.ca. Have you seen this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was looking at it today, actually.
Well,
They've got a lot of beer on there, man.
Yeah, 50 plus local craft beers, ciders, and kombuchas sold at some pretty good prices. You can mix and match your own 12 and 24 packs. And they deliver right to your home for orders over $100. So
Are you a big kombucha? Are you a kombucha fan, Cloudy?
Tim, I can't. No, I'm not. Is it Australian? Is that kombucha Australian? I stick to my pooch envy.
That's solid, buddy.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's good stuff.
You know, one of those things that as soon as they say it, you're like,
that makes way more
makes
sense.
a lot more sense. A lot more sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would it be pouch? To my mind, and then
But why would it be pooch?
Yeah.
That's tough stuff, buddy. You good?
There, I like this. Bad idea, bro. That's what we'll call it. Bad idea, bro. Okay.
Bad idea, bro.
Yeah. All right. So we'll come up with some bad idea bros next week. Bad beer mixes that we shouldn't see. Mustard's going to be on the top of my list. I think ketchup is a strong number 2 in relish. I think all condiments.
Yeah, you don't like mustard at all, do you?
Oh, I love mustard. Just not in my
okay.
beer.
I thought you were against it. I just think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's terrible. You know what I was thinking about today, though, was we've been watching a lot of basketball. I have been. You've been watching some hockey. The life in the bubble. What do you think the life in the bubble feels like? Like, could you live in this bubble that they're in right now? So NBA and NHL are in a bubble.
Yeah.
Could you live in that bubble?
Well, let's get something straight right away. Is that they have everything their heart desires, right? Like they're not struggling to get by. You know what I mean?
They got most things in the bubble.
Are you meaning women?
I'm just saying they got most. I didn't. I just.
That's what I'm thinking.
They have most things. Okay.
Okay, so that was my one thing. So they've got world class chefs. They've got alcohol that they need, right? Like that's one of the things they brought in that they could have. There's lounges, there's outdoor spaces. The NBA players are in Orlando, and they've got everything. Like they've got their own salons, they've got their own things. Like they're set, right? I'm just wondering, like, what is like? These are young. We know hockey players. We know basketball players. These are young, athletic men.
Oh, wait a second. Let's not discriminate here. The WNBA is also in a bubble.
That's true. That's true.
They're in a solid bubble too, in Bradenton, Florida. So,
what do you think? Are tensions high? Are you getting what I'm saying? Like, is it like as the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs go on, and they're 2 months in? Like,
I don't know.
What's that going to be like? We might see the games get even rowdier.
Just fighting. I don't know. So that's part of the bubble. Is there anything else you think they're missing in the bubble?
The opposite sex. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's it. That's the only thing. They've got everything else they need. Other than that,
family. Let's.
like,
one family.
Family.
2. Then down the list, right?
Well, that's what I was wondering. What else was on the list?
I can't think of anything else, man. Like, did you see?
So, how long do you think you could live in the bubble for then?
It did. How long could I? About 8 years, probably. Like, not a problem. Not a problem at all.
I love the bubble. I'm now in a bubble.
I love it, man. I would love it. I think I was watching an NHL player, and he was saying they've even got a network specifically for their gamers, the gamers who have brought their PlayStations and Xbox that they could get on and they could all game together. Like, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. That seems like a pretty.
Yeah.
Tommy's, got a couple kids at home.
Right. You want to be in the bubble.
Yeah, they're probably a couple guys probably checked into the bubble a couple weeks early.
They're like, I just want to be in the bubble. You know what I miss about going to hotel rooms? My own bed.
Yeah.
I always get 2 beds. Like, that's your bed. That's my bed. Just the hotel bed. They're obviously not sharing rooms. They get their own bed.
Oh yeah.
It's not 3 to a king.
No. Let's be honest. John Tavares, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner are not bunk beds. All bunk buddies.
Like the single on the top and the double on the bottom. They're all just squeezed in there.
No, they're living a pretty good life.
So what we're saying is we want our own bubble.
What we have to do, let's work on getting a guest from the bubble to see what that's like, to see what is happening. I can work on that. We can work on that. A guest live from the bubble.
Whoa, having a bubble party.
A bubble guest. A bubble guest. All right.
Let's get a bubble guest. I like it.
All right, we'll work on a bubble guest for next week. We do have do we want to tell who our guest? No, let's leave it. We won't say who our guest is. We'll reveal it coming up this week. Cliffhanger. We will go over some of our bad idea bros, and we'll do that next week. Bad beer combos that should never be made. I'm going to add another one because I'm on condiments. Mayo.
Come on, man. Like, I've drank a lot of beers, different types of beers.
Yep.
Mayo. That's intense.
Yeah.
That's not.
Hot dog water. My list is going off.
Hot dog water, you'd never know. I think mayo, when you get stuff floating around in your beer, that's a lot of drain pours. That's gonna be a tough one to sell.
I got
mayo.
One. Another one. Pulp. Bad idea, bro.
I like pulp.
No, you're weird. All right, that's what we got.
That's how we're gonna end it. No, you're weird.
National Beer Day. I'm into the Van Full of Weirdos now. There will be an episode
beer, right?
at some point where I have 3. Well, that's our goal.
What do you do with the other ones? You just talk about them, right? All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like this one. This one's delicious right here. Short Pier Long Walk, double IPA.
Nice.
Gonna drink that in the after show tonight. It's all good.
All right. We'll see you next week. Download the pod wherever you can get your podcast. This is episode 5. We're back again with episode 6 next week. We've already got a special guest lined up, and we're working a bubble guest and some bad idea bros. Jump in on our social media. Timmer, cheers, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. See you.